This is the second in a series of videos on the 400 Super America front suspension. The first video covered the right side suspension as it was removed from the car and prior to any disassembly. So at this point, both right and left side suspension systems have been completely disassembled. As the left side is very similar to the right side, we're only going to discuss the right side for suspension. The upper control arms have been polished and all of the foundry finish has been removed, and then the parts have been overplated with nickel. And so after the arms are cleaned, they will go to the plating shop and have all the nickel removed, returned to us. And we're going to try to bring back some of that foundry finish. When I refer to foundry finish, this is what it should look like. Some of that rough texture is what these parts should look like. This part has been plated, and so it too will go to the plating shop and have all the nickel removed. However, the finished look on these parts are paint, so we will just do the paint work on here. These threaded taper pins are in excellent condition and should only require cleaning. The thrust washers have been lightly cleaned and their dimensions have been recorded. So these are the outer thrust washers and these are the inners. The cross shafts do show wear. So we're looking into some techniques to bring this finish back to original dimensions. So we'll probably use a technique called spray welding, and because I'd like to retain the original parts as much as possible. So this is the upper control arm. And these are the lower control arms here. Same applies. They've just been plated and over polished. I've already removed the bushings that normally sit in here, so they're ready to be cleaned and packaged up and off to the plating shop. And again, all the critical dimensions have been recorded. The threaded taper pins are in very nice condition. These are the components that hold the coil springs, and these have been finished in powder coat, which is a very incorrect finish for this type of car, especially its vintage. And so we'll strip all of that off. There is the left side, and it's being stripped with chemical paint stripper. So that is the lower control arms. This is a steering arm. The same applies. It's going to go to the plating shop to have all the old nickel removed, and we're going to try to bring back some of that original foundry finish. There's some thrust bearings, and these all been disassembled and inspected. They need a lot more cleaning, but they all look like they're in very nice condition. None of them are broken. All 60 are present, and so we'll just clean these and repack the outer races with new grease, and should be able to be reused. This thrust bearing here is in excellent condition. However, the one on the left side does show some damage that occurred over the years. So we'll have to get a new bearing for the left side. The kink pins are in nice condition. They will go to the plating shop to have all the incorrect nickel removed and then returned to us. And so we will then clean them, and these parts will be painted. And the same with the spindle assembly. This should be a painted part, so it should be rather simple for the plating shop just to, again, strip all that nickel off we'll clean these parts up and then get them correctly painted. But overall, both right and left sides look very nice. I don't see any of the suspension arms that were damaged. So it'll be fairly routine to restore all of the suspension components.